the sound of my voice, clap twice. And you can hear the sound of my voice and are ready for a great show, clap 3 times. Kindergarten and first grade, second grade, families and friends, welcome to our second grade assembly. You guys are in for a treat. We've got a great show for you today, and after the show, we're going to be doing some Leaves in the Forest of Virtue. You guys are not here to see Mr. Purvis, so I will get out of the way. Let's give Mrs. Finley a big round of applause and hear about our presentation.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming and joining us for our second grade assembly. It's our first one. We're very excited. We've been working very hard on this play, so we hope you enjoy it. This is a shorter version of the simple story of the 3 little pigs and the scientific wolf by Gary Fexer. We have several students playing the part of the young wolf and several students playing the parts of the 3 little sister pigs.
And we also have lots of narrators over here. And in order to really enjoy this play, you have to use your imagination. You know what that is, right? Yeah? You have to be able to visualize, make a story in your head, like a movie in your head. So you ready? All right, sit back, use your imagination, and enjoy the show.
Once upon a time, there was a young wolf. He lived in the cool, shady forest. His father was the famous big bad wolf. He tried to huff and puff his way into the home of the 3 little pigs.
Well, those 3 little pigs are grown now and have moved on, but their 3 daughters still live on the edge of the forest. The young wolf did a lot of thinking about how his father huffed and puffed and puffed and huffed to try to catch the scrumptious little pig. He, like most children, thought he was much wiser and more clever than his father. He just knew that he could figure out an easier way to catch those delightful piglets. He started to think about what he had learned in science while he was in second grade. He remembered learning that simple machines make doing jobs easier, so he started to make a plan. The pigs lived all the way on the other side of the forest. So the first thing young Wolf decided to do was jump on his bike and ride through the forest. He knew this would be much easier than walking. When the wolf reached the first little pig's straw house, he knocked on the door and said, Little pig, new friend you've made. Open the door and don't be afraid. The first little pig looked out the window of her straw house and said, No, Mr. Wolf, I'm not afraid. Not about a hair in my beautiful braid. And she waited for the huffing and puffing to begin. The young wolf had a long road from back around a wheel. He tied one end of the road next to a tree. Then he pulled himself up till he was right over the roof. The first little pig wandered outside and untied the rope tied to the tree. The young wolf came crashing down the lane of the sun on the ground. By the time the young wolf brushed himself off and looked around, he saw the first little pig running off to her sister's house. Her house was made of sticks. When the wolf reached the second little pig stick house, he knocked on the door and said,
Lady knocked on the door and said,
the first little pig and her sister looked out the window and said, "No, Mr. Wolf, we're not afraid, not by the hair in our beautiful braids." Now the wolf was really getting upset. He wanted them to just open the door, but the two little pigs were not crazy. They knew what the young wolf was up to. The wolf walked around the stick house looking for a way to get in. He noticed the roof did not look too sturdy. He saw a large board sitting on the ground behind the house. He lifted the board and placed it up against the house.
inclined plane, ramp.
The wolf got far away from his ramp and jumped on his bike. Faster and faster he went. He came to the ramp and started to go up, up, up. And he sailed right over the top of the house.
Right over the top of the house. Wait. That's a drop there. It's coming. Isn't it more exciting when you have to leave? He sailed right over the house.
And landed on the ground with another thud. The two little pigs watched through the window, and when they saw the wolf sitting on the ground, they ran out of the house towards the third little pig's house. This little pig's house was made of bricks.
Guys, just be quiet.
This little pig's house was made of bricks. This sister was smart. When he saw her sisters running toward her house, he hurried them inside and up and locked the front door and then locked all the windows. Before long, they heard mocking and now the wolf was furious. He raced around the house looking for something to get him in. He found a crowbar over a shed. He went around the house and tried to pry open every window.
Lever and wedge, which is a crowbar.
Remember, the third pig was smart. She locked all the windows so the young wolf got his final idea. He jumped back on his bike and disappeared into the forest.
Much time went by and the three little pigs finally saw the young wolf coming out of the woods with a very strange looking contraption. It was a corkscrew jack.
The corkscrew jack, you gotta listen.
The wolf placed the corkscrew jack under the edge of the house. He twisted and twisted the handle. The three pigs felt the house being raised. On one side, knew that the wolf would be able to climb under soon. The wolf whirled around and was amazed to see the brave little pig right outside the house. His eyes lit up and he thought about roasted pig at last. The other two pigs were busy with their part of the plan. They attached and pulled the ropes. The corkscrew jack came out and the house landed right on the wolf's tail. This was all the poor wolf could take. All his plans had failed, not because of the simple machines didn't work, but because the three little pigs were very smart and the young wolf was not. So he went home and decided to become a vegetarian. Now we are going to sing you a song. Now we are gonna sing you a wonderful song.
Each of them is
I'll take your notes first.
All right, good morning again, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our presentation. And we're going to get started with some of our leaps. The first friend I have up here with me is Matthew McCabe. Step closer. I won't fight you today, I promise. All right, Matthew is getting a leap today for temperance. And I said temperance, you know what that's about, Matthew? That's about mastering our impulses and staying in control. Is that something you've been working really hard on? Making good choices? Yeah. It's been going really good, huh? Yeah? Okay. And Matthew works really hard on using this skill every day. And another part of this virtue is organization. Do you have a super organized desk, Matthew?
Yes.
One of the neatest in the class. He has a spot for everything, and he knows that that is a really important part of being successful in school. And another reason Matthew is getting a leap today is because he is a very good and loyal friend. Would you agree?
Yes.
Anytime it seems like someone's having a bad day or something's not going quite right, Matthew is the first person to ask if they're okay, what can he do to help, and he's a really, really wonderful friend. So congratulations, Matthew. We're so happy you're in our class. My next friend is this little pig. No, just kidding, it's Bella. Isabella is receiving her leave today for temperance. And Bella is getting this leave today because she's been working super hard the last few weeks. And I've noticed Bella's been showing excellent self-control even when the going gets tough. And I think that's the hardest part, right? It's really hard to stay in control of our emotions when things get really hard for us, and Bella's been doing an awesome job with that. And one thing I've noticed that Bella's done really well with this year is when she starts to get down about something, she's working really hard on turning her day around. Is that sometimes kind of hard to do too? Yes, and we are doing an awesome job. So Bella's a very hard worker, and she always tries her best. Congratulations. And my friend Srinath. Srinath is getting a leave today for Fortitude. And I said Srinath comes to our class today, every day, ready to learn. And he has this laid-back, kind of relaxed attitude when doing his work, which is not to say that Srinath's being lazy. He's just very relaxed about it, and he does an excellent job. And I said, nothing really seems to stress you out. Is that true? Right, you're a go-with-the-flow kind of guy? He has an awesome sense of humor, and every morning without fail, Srinath says or does something very respectfully to make me laugh. And it's this attitude that really builds our classroom community in a positive way. And it reminds us all to go with the flow, smile, and not to get stressed out about our work. We're going to figure it out. So thank you for bringing that to our class. My friend Holly is getting a leave today for Justice. And Holly is a super kind friend in our class. She's always smiling. Look at her, she's smiling right now. And she's ready to help out any friend who needs it. She always tries to do the right thing, whether it's playing with someone who's looking for a partner at recess or focusing on her work when other friends are having a hard time doing that around her. And she sets an excellent example in our classroom every day. Congratulations. And last but not least is my friend Caitlin F. And she is getting a leave today for Fortitude. Do you know what that is? Inner strength. I swear I teach this, I promise. In the 3 short months I've known Caitlin, I've learned that she is not a quitter. I've never heard Caitlin say that something's too hard or that she's afraid or unwilling to try something. She takes her time, she perseveres, which means you stick to it, okay? And she sticks with challenges and always comes out on top. Caitlin is thoughtful about her work, she takes her time and makes sure it's done just right. And I've also noticed if something makes you nervous, Caitlin, you put on a brave face and you go for it. Is that true? Yes. And every single time she comes out of those situations successful and smiling. Congratulations, Caitlin. And now Mrs. Weedman.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mrs. Deacon.
I'm a little shorter than Mrs. Finley. Heels on today? No heels. So this is my friend Matthew, and he is receiving a leaf in the Forest of Virtue for friendship. Friendship, I know you know what that is, right? Well, it says right here, Matthew is one cool dude. He has lots and lots of buddies that he plays with at recess. He has lots and lots of buddies that he plays inside at recess. And he has lots and lots of buddies that he talks to, lots and lots during the day, right? And also, honey, always help us out. You help out your friends, you help out your teachers. And one more thing that Matthew does that I absolutely love is that he always lets me know how much time is left if and when I set our timer, right? Aren't you the timer checker? All right. Thanks for being such a great friend, Matt. This is my good friend, Nitty, and she is receiving a leaf for prudence. Do you remember what prudence is? Oh, come on, you're prudent. You should know. You use your head. You always use your head, and that's what it says right there, doesn't it? You make good choices every single day. You are very careful with all of your work. You take your time. You don't rush. You also think before you do something. You think before you speak, and that is being very, very prudent. And you're an excellent, excellent role model for your peers, and just a great student for your teachers. And we love you. Thanks, Nitty. Daniel Halloran. This is my friend Dan, and he is receiving a leaf for patience. You figured, huh? You figured. He's been patiently waiting for this leaf. So Dan is a very, very patient guy. He takes his time with his work. He waits his turn in line. He waits his turn when he needs to put a paper in the finished work bin or take a divider out. He doesn't push through everyone, right? So you're not just patient, but you're also polite. And by doing that, Dan, you make our class go smoother. You make things a lot easier for me. And I love your patience, and I hope you keep up the good work. Thank you, Dan. And then, are you hiding behind me? You gotta look in the camera. This is my friend Chia Perkins, and she is receiving a leaf for optimism. Do you know what optimism is? Well, you are very optimistic, my friend. It comes very naturally to you. You have a positive outlook. You always see things on the bright side. You don't say, oh, we gotta do this. And if something happens, you find a good twist to it. You say, oh, well, that's okay. We'll just do this way, and we'll get over it, right? That's great. You just let things slide off. And I love that. It is so good to be optimistic, cheerful, and I hope you stay like this forever. Thank you, Lucia. One more time. And then
We have a secret
we
leaf
have
to
a
give out.
secret leaf to get out to Mrs. Mann. We get to be really nice and embarrass her at the same time.
Mrs. Mann, I'm just going to start talking. Mrs. Mann has been so patient with Mrs. Weevan and I this week. It's been a really busy week in second grade. We've had a whole lot of things to get done. There's been report cards and the assembly and props to be made. And we know she likes to do it, but we really put a lot on her plate this week.
So we're giving you a leaf for patience. And this is what we wrote. And I'm going to say it first name. It's not disrespectful to me. We wrote, we love you, Donna, not just because of your prop-making abilities, not just because of your kindness and flexibility, not just because you have a great sense of humor and we laugh all the time, but because you are you, true to yourself, and you're genuinely thoughtful. Thanks for everything you do. She said she's going to kill me. Mrs. Betty.
Second grade, you were awesome. That was a fabulous performance. He is a kind and thoughtful friend. He's an honest and hardworking student. He knows when to have fun and when to settle down and to do your work. That's right. Because of this, he is able to get his work done. He is able to help others do the same thing. Soren is a great classmate, a great role model, and we are so happy to have you in class, Soren. Awesome work. This is my friend Elizabeth Evanchuk, who is affectionately known as Beth, right? Beth is receiving a leave today because she has excellent manners. Do you have manners? And she also has patience. She's organized, she's neat, she always acts the right way at the right time. She's a wonderful friend, a wonderful role model, and we are very happy to have Beth in our class because of all your wonderful things. Super job, Beth. This is my friend Anushka Jane, and she is receiving a leave today for fortitude because Anushka works so hard. She shows perseverance and determination every single day, right? She has a beautiful handwriting, beautiful artwork. She makes an honest effort. She never gives up in anything she does, right? And she is making wonderful progress in first grade because of her hard work and determination. Very proud of Anushka. Awesome job, Anushka. This is my friend Liam Nolan Hayun, and he is receiving a leave today for justice, because he is a wonderful friend to everyone. He treats everyone with kindness, compassion, and respect. Very respectful friend. Liam takes responsibility for other people's feelings and their well-being. He is always there to cheer people up if they're feeling down, right? And you always have a good story to share. Liam has lots of stories. He's a great storyteller. Awesome job, Liam. Very proud.
Could I please have Sam, Priscilla, and Lily? I know it takes me longer because my friends don't know. All right, my first friend receiving her leave today is Miss Priscilla Brennan. And Priscilla is receiving her leave today for courage and for good manners. Coming into a new school at any year, the beginning of the year is difficult. Coming into a new school several weeks into the year, when everyone else already knows each other, is extremely difficult. Add leaving your twin brother at your old school, and you would think it would be near impossible. And she's done it. Priscilla did just that. She had the courage then to make everything work that she possibly could. Change can be so difficult. I'm so proud of her continuous efforts in dealing with all of these changes that she faces. She's also being recognized for her good manners. Almost every time she approaches a teacher, you say what? Excuse me, if somebody's talking, and she remembers her please and thank yous when she's asking a question, or she's asking a friend for help, or asking for help from the teacher. She always remembers her kind manners. Great job. My friend Lily is receiving her leave today for friendship and for fortitude. Okay? Lily deserves recognition for many reasons, and that includes her hard work. Okay? Fortitude is when you are working really, really hard and making good choices, being kind to others as well. Several times lately, I have caught Lily going out of her way to make a classmate happy. She has shared things with our newest friend in the classroom more than once, right? Do you remember? Mm-hmm. And she did so without even knowing that her teachers realized what she had done. Part of something that's really important at BFCCPS is doing good even when no one is looking, and how important that is. And Lily did just that, and it's very admirable. She's also getting recognition for her dedication to her work. She works really, really hard, especially with reading, writing, and math. Takes her time. She wants everything to come out exactly the way it should, right? She puts extra effort in and is always motivated to do the best. That hard work is really paying off, and she's really meeting with success in all of those areas. Sam, my friend Sam Griffin is receiving his leave today for optimism and fortitude. Sam deserves recognition for optimism because he has such a bright, uplifting way of looking at things. Sam is almost always cheerful. He is excited about learning and seeing his friends every day. Sometimes it's tough to curb that enthusiasm, right? But he's been working really hard at knowing when to settle down, take his schoolwork seriously. Sam is very bright. He loves to share his knowledge, and it can be really difficult to wait your turn when the knowledge just wants to burst out of you in the middle of class, right? I'm very proud of Sam's efforts in knowing when to wait to let others share their enthusiasm as well. He brings so much joy and a great sense of humor to our classroom every day. Nice job. And I just have one more. That's okay, you guys can come up. I just have one more, but I won't call the person up here. I have one more leaf to give to Miss Rampino. And I would like to give her a leaf for fortitude and for helpfulness. Ms. Rampino deserves recognition for being wonderful. She came into our classroom in a day's notice, hit the ground running, and after spending a few weeks as a substitute, we were very excited when she became a permanent addition to our classroom. She is extremely helpful to me, doing everything she can to make my job easier. She's gotten to know all of the students, and she does anything and everything she can to help them all learn to their best potential. We are so lucky to have her.
Good job, second grade. That was awesome, and I love seeing how well you guys are reading now. That's awesome, awesome. So my friend Bella Mercurio is my first friend receiving a leave today, and she is receiving a leave for kindness and prudence. We don't really talk much about that word yet, prudence, but I wanted to tell you about Bella because she is very thoughtful in our class about, she thinks before she speaks during our large group discussions, don't you, Bella? Bella always has something interesting to share that she's experienced or read or learned somewhere else, and she connects a lot of our stories and what we're learning about to other things that she's learned about, and she just makes wonderful additions to our discussions. So you're very prudent in the way you think about things. That's awesome. You're also a very, very kind friend to everyone in our class, aren't you? She's always very worried if someone's sad or upset. It makes sure that she finds me if I don't know that that person's upset, and we figure out how to solve it. She always wants to be a part of that. She's an awesome, kind friend, and I love having you in class. Congratulations. This is Hasini, and Hasini is getting a leave today for responsibility and politeness. You're very polite, aren't you? Hasini is so polite, she uses her manners all the time. Even when I give her something to do, a page to work on or do work, she's always like, thank you. Very excited to get busy, and that ties into how responsible she is. She takes that work right over, she sits down, she does what she needs to. She listens and sits and sets a great example for all her classmates. I'm very, very happy to have you in class. Congratulations. Aiden Chu is my friend, and he's my little huggy koala bear right here. Aiden is getting a leave today for thoughtfulness and friendship. Aiden comes in every morning and says, good morning, Mrs. Jonas, don't you? And a lot of times he has something for me. He's very thoughtful. He brings me little presents, little pictures he's made, little things. He just thinks of me every day. And he thinks of his friends as well. He's always helping them and making sure that they are happy, don't you? With that cute little smile. He's very kind to everyone, so everyone wants to be his friend because he's such a great guy. And we love having you in class, Aiden. Congratulations. Brendan Gall is a new friend in our class, and Brendan is getting a leaf for fortitude, courage, right? And for optimism. Brendan was told he was going to be in our class and had to go into school in a day's notice and say goodbye to all his old friends at his old school. And he did that. He was a little bit nervous, a little bit excited, right? The good thing is, he has a twin sister in our class, so that was very exciting. They were going to be together. Well, on his first day, what happened, Brendan? Did your sister come to school? No, she got sick, so she couldn't come the first day. We thought, oh no, that's going to be hard for him. But he came right in. He was so brave, he came right in, didn't you? And he joined right in with our class. Friends were very kind to him. He just followed along with what we were doing, and you wouldn't even know that he just started in our class just 2 weeks ago. You did an awesome job, Brendan. We are so happy to have you. And this is my friend Ryan, and the reason I wanted to do Ryan right after Brendan is because Ryan is one of those friends, aren't you, Ryan, that was so welcoming. He's getting a leaf for kindness and friendship because he was so excited to welcome Brendan in. The minute he got here, he showed him what to do. He got a puzzle out and said, come on over here, let's do this puzzle. And he was such a kind and awesome friend to Brendan. And he's a kind, awesome friend to everybody in our class. And I love that about you, Ryan. Congratulations.
For helpfulness and friendship. Lexi, are you helpful? Lexi is such a helpful friend to everyone in our class. She helps Mrs. O'Brien and I by cleaning the classroom. And I have been noticing, Lexi, especially lately, that you have been cleaning up in areas that you haven't played with. Is that true? And you've been helping everyone clean up. Sometimes we have a hard time cleaning in our classroom. Is that true? We make really big messes, and then we have a hard time cleaning up. But Lexi, as soon as I ring the chime and tell my friends to clean up, Lexi has been cleaning up the entire classroom, and she doesn't stop until the whole classroom is clean, which Mrs. Tagan loves because Mrs. Tagan likes everything what? Clean and neat. I really do. I like everything in its place. So Lexi is so helpful, and also she's so helpful if a friend is sick. She will bring them down to the nurse. If a friend is hurt, Lexi's one of the first friends over, giving a hug and trying to cheer them up. She's such a sweet, kind friend to everyone in our class, and we love having her. Keep up the great work, my friend. Thank God. This is my friend Henry, and Henry is having a very special day today because we are celebrating Henry's birthday today. It's tomorrow. He is also the caboose this week in our class, and he's getting a leaf. So very special day for our friend Henry. Henry is receiving his leaf today from Prudence for making wise choices. Henry works so hard every day to follow all the rules in our classroom, don't you, Henry? You raise your hand when you want to talk, you listen, you sit when you're supposed to. But also, what I said here is that you work really hard with all of your schoolwork. You are such a careful worker. You never rush through. And you make all of your work beautiful. Henry even makes his math papers pieces of art. Can you believe that? He will color in his entire math paper, different colors, and make it beautiful. Do you do that? And every time Henry passes in his work, Mrs. O'Brien and I say, oh, Henry, your work is so beautiful. It's always done so nicely, isn't it, my friend? Keep up the great work. We love having you. This is my friend Adele, and Adele is receiving her leave for temperance, for courtesy, and good manners, because my friend Adele comes in every morning with this beautiful smile. And every morning she says, good morning, Mrs. Tagan, good morning, Mrs. O'Brien. When her friends come in, she says good morning. She gives them waves and hugs. She's so sweet, so friendly, always remembers her manners, always says please and thank you. She is just an absolute joy to have in class. We love having her. Keep up the great work, Adele. This is my friend Tommy, and Tommy's receiving his leave for fortitude, for perseverance. You know what that means? It's kind of a hard word. It means that you never give up. What was kind of hard for you at the beginning of the year? Do you remember? Was writing your letters and numbers a little bit tricky, and what did you do? You kept working and working and working, and you never gave up. And now, what have we noticed about your writing? It's awesome. It's getting better and better and better because Tommy keeps working at it. Every time we're doing writing, Tommy will take his time. He really works at it. And then afterwards, he says, look at Mrs. Teagan, I did it. Look at my work. And he shows such pride in his work, and he's been working so hard, and we absolutely love seeing his hard work. Great job, Tommy. This is my friend Anika. Here, go, everyone wants to see you. This is my friend Anika, and she is receiving her leaf today for justice, for friendship and generosity. Anika is one of the most generous friends. Every morning, Anika comes in with what? What do you come in every day with? A big what? A big smile, but what else? Lots of pictures from Mrs. Teagan and Mrs. O'Brien. She comes over to me every day with a big stack of pictures and beautiful things that she makes for me at home. And she loves making all of her friends and teachers happy by making things for them. She's so sweet, so kind. Are you sweet and kind? All the time to everyone. And we love having her. Great job, sweetheart.
Boys and girls, you're doing such a great job, and I'm so proud of you for how well you're listening. But guess what? We have one more surprise. We have some special guests here to give someone else a little special recognition. So I'd like to invite them up at this time. Please give them a round of applause.
Good morning, friends. My name is Robbie Perkamelis. Along with my colleague Kim Halloran, we are the room parents for Mrs. Weedman's second grade class. At this time, we'd like to ask if our friends from Mrs. Weedman's second grade class would quietly and quickly come to the stage. At this time, we'd like to ask Mrs. Weedman to the stage. Mrs. Weedman, today your students would like to give you a very special leaf. In honor of the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday, they would like to present a leaf of gratitude to you. We know how hard being a teacher is. It can be both challenging and demanding.
Especially this week.
But the students couldn't do this on their own. So they reached out to a very special organization that you know very well, the New England Patriots. And together they wrote you a very nice letter, which Mrs. Halloran would like to read to you.
Dear Sue, some of your biggest fans of your 2014-2015 second grade class of the FCCPS informed us that you are one of our biggest fans. We appreciate your long and unwavering support of the New England Patriots. Fans like you are hard to come by and will not soon be forgotten. We are both thrilled and honored to commend you on your distinguished career in education. Because of your dedication to teaching and serving our youth, we are positive that they will grow to be active participants in our own New England communities. In close, please find some items we thought you might enjoy. Thank you for your support. We couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
Yes, why don't you guys stay right where you are? And ladies and gentlemen, that brings an end to today's special assembly. But I like to end assemblies in a special way. We're going to give Mrs. Weedman's class and Mrs. Finley's class props. You guys remember how that goes? All right, all together on three. You ready? 1, 2, 3.